Hello and welcome back to another tutorial for another week of happy painting. Look at my head. I hit my head earlier when I was in the shed and I have an awful mark on my head. It's very sore. It'll be fine. My hair is growing nicely, it'll cover it eventually. Right, something fun this week, something completely out of the ordinary, landscapes. We did a nice big landscape last week. Can I show you that? I have it on the easel here set up. That's what we did last week. Isn't that fantastic? Now I did paint around the sides of this as well. Look, I just went around the sides very kind of quickly and around the top just with the same colour. I just kind of dabbed it on with a brush, that's all. Nothing too complicated. That's what we did. Isn't that lovely? Didn't that turn out really nice? Now I'm still not sure about the mist over there. I might take the mist out, to be honest, and just make it a straight line all the way. You know, nothing will ever be perfect, I suppose, in landscape painting. There's always going to be something that you're not happy with, but I think that's wonderful. Look, I'm standing there on this easel, happy out. I'll leave it dry for a week or two and then I might varnish it and hang it in home. Right, let me turn the camera because I have a very important question to ask all of you. The question is, how do you like your eggs in the morning? Isn't that pretty silly? You're saying, this guy has lost his mind here, he's going off his game. How do you like your eggs in the morning? I like mine painted. I'm going to paint a lovely, funny, well not funny, a little painting of a cracked egg, cracked open and the egg is coming out. How about that on a kind of a table? Something fun for a change. Cheer us all up. Let's have a bit of a laugh as it goes along. And you never know, you might learn something and I might learn something about composition and about getting the right colours, getting the curvatures of shadows, that kind of a thing. I just thought, you know what? Let's just try it. Let's have a bit of crack. What do you think? I'll turn the camera here and show you what I have. I have a little canvas here, 16 by 12, primed twice, nice and smooth and soft. And I have a palette of colours. I'm not even sure what colours I'm going to need now, to be quite honest. So I'll just put a couple. Alright? A few colours. I have titanium white, naples yellow, cadmium yellow pale, a little phaylo blue, some alizarin crimson, some burnt sienna. I have a little cadmium red, a little burnt umber, and some lamp black. Now I got a question about lamp black yesterday. I think it was Michael sent a question to me about black. He didn't know whether to use ivory black or lamp black or Mars black. The thing about blacks is, I know you think black is black, but they are slightly different. They have slightly different shades when they're mixed, especially with a little white. So for example, Mars black is a really rich blacky black. It's probably the blackest black that you're ever going to get. It's really opaque, it covers really well on the canvas. So if you just want a simple plain black to cover everything, Mars black. Okay, things change then, you see, when you start mixing them with whites or like Naples yellow or something like that. The ivory black, which is one that I have here, I use ivory black as well. Now ivory black is a kind of it goes slightly towards the kind of a bluey black. Do you know what I mean? So it's a very bluey black. Now when mixed with white, it gives you great colours for shadows and that kind of thing. The black I use here is lamp black. Let me see if I can find it. It's there somewhere. Yeah, now this is my black that I use, okay? This is lamp black. Can you see it? Now the thing about the lamp black is it has a very warm kind of an undertone to it. It's if you mix a tiny bit of white with lamp black, you will see it causes a kind of a lovely dark kind of a warm grey, a warm kind of a browny kind of a grey. It's a very warm, rich black. I use it for everything, rather than using just pure Mars black on its own. I think the lamp black or even the ivory black, you'll get away with that as well, but I love the lamp black because it's slightly on the warmer scale of blacks, especially when mixed with little titanium yellow even, or titanium white. Maybe a hint of Naples yellow or something in it. you get this lovely warm grey, very dark, rich, warm greys. So they're fantastic for creating lots of depth in paintings and atmosphere, especially for clouds. So I'll always use a lamp black, but that's just the difference if you didn't know. Also with the whites, another question was comparing titanium white with zinc white. Now titanium white is the most common of the whites. It's a very good all-rounder. It's nice and rich and bright and vibrant. It's great for getting nice bright highlights, and it has excellent coverage. It's probably the most common. Everybody uses titanium white, I would say. I did use zinc white for a while, but the thing with zinc white is it's a very weak kind of a white. It's a very weak, I won't say transparent, because it's not transparent. It's just a very weak, soft white, and you need to use a lot of zinc white just to make the slightest difference in your colour. So you could be putting loads and loads and loads of zinc white into your colour, and you're thinking to yourself, well, it's not making much of a difference. So that's the thing with zinc white. I think zinc white is probably used in maybe underpainting a painting, getting it ready for its final stages, or lightening shades only very, very slightly. If there's a very fine line between the shades you're using, then zinc white is perfect for that. But I don't use zinc white anymore. It's just too weak for me. I like to have something with a bit of punch. So titanium white is the one to use, I would say. Alright, so just to let you know that. I hope that helped, Michael. Right, on to this painting here. Enough of me blabbering on about colours and this and that. I'm looking forward to doing this. This is going to be a bit of fun. Let's just try it and see how we go, yeah? Get your stuff and get ready, and let's have a bit of fun with this. Righty-o, here we go. Right, I'm putting the picture on your screen. Now, there we go. What do you think of that? How about this? Just for the fun. What do you think? I just think it's going to be nice to show, techniques about getting curves and getting the shadows inside and getting the nice light hitting that egg yolk and the white around the egg as well. I just think it's going to be a bit of fun. I thought, you know what, let's just give landscapes a break just for this week and do something completely crazy out of the ordinary. What do you think? It might turn out lovely, who knows? Let's just try something different. Because, you learn something new with every painting, I always say. Now I'm going to start the sketch. And where do we start? I don't know. Let's just pick a point. Let's just pick the top of the egg yolk, okay? Let's just go like that. We don't have to worry about getting our drawing perfect, alright? That's probably a bit big. Is it? Yeah, I think it's probably a little bit on the big side. Let's take that off. And let's... this could be a bit of fun now. Let's get some fun with this. And it comes down and around then. Like that. Okay. And then we have the white, which kind of comes out like that. And it comes a lovely, very sharp curve around. Like that. Half of this I was kind of guessing at this stage, I would say. I'm just kind of guessing where it's going. Okay, like that. And we have a little bit that kind of comes around like that. A little bit of shadow there. Now I'm going to draw in the shadows as well. I think I will. I'll draw in the shadows as well, because that'll give us a decent enough guide as to where we need to go. Let's bring this around like that. So I can get rid of all this here now. Look, let's just imagine that gone. Okay? There's our egg. Isn't that cool? I think this is going to be brilliant fun. Honest to God, I can't wait for this. I hope you're all keeping well and safe. And you're all keeping out. And keeping indoors. Like everybody is supposed to be doing. Let's just hope it doesn't continue for too long. This COVID-19 thing. Hopefully it won't. But we have to try and do what we can to protect ourselves, don't we? Let's just be on the cautious side. Now let's get a bit of egg shell, like that. This is going to turn out. I'd say this is going to turn out funny in the end. I really do. God, is that too big? No, it's not, is it? I'm thinking about the size of the egg. You see, we don't want a shell which is too small. Let's go up here, nice and jagged up there. Look. It comes up to about there, doesn't it? So let's just give this a nice kind of a jagged edge. I'm not even copying the photograph. It comes down and around. Now it gets quite big in here, doesn't it? So it comes around like that. I'm trying to keep it as round as I can. You know, somewhere decent looking. It comes around like that. And then it comes down like that. Okay. Now I'm not too sure about that, but will we just go with that and see what happens? You know. Let's maybe bring it down a bit. Just in there. Take out this middle section. All this now just very loose, I'll be honest. It's just a very loose sketch. I don't want to make too big a fuss with this. Now the outside is pure white, okay? We could add a hint of colour somewhere. Let's just go on and crack on with it. I'll take a small brush. I'm thinking maybe just my medium stubby, or even the next one up here. Let me just get a look now. See, my brushes are getting quite worn. By the way, if you're looking for brushes, I can't get brushes anymore. Well, I can get them, but I can't ship them anymore because the postal services have stopped to, I don't know, 15 or 20 different countries and states. So most of the places in the world really won't be able to get brushes. It's just the postage. They've stopped everything because of the COVID-19. They're only kind of doing local deliveries really. So my apologies if you're looking for brushes. You know, look, it is what it is. I had to refund a couple of sets of brushes already because I couldn't get them to customers. So it's just an awful shame. Let's just hope it doesn't go on for too long, yes? Now I do have a little bit of colour left on my brush. I'm just picking up titanium white with a little bit of turpentine, alright? It's just for a very loose background, that's all. The background is just plain white. But I may add a hint of little colour here and there. Again, we never know what's going to happen. Let's just come down here, fill this in. Yeah, I do have a little hint of a very, very, very pale blue in my brush. So this is kind of mixing with the white now and giving me a very, very whitey, bluey colour. Now it's hardly even noticeable. I don't know if you can see it on camera or not. You probably can't, but it's just a very off-white is what I have. And I'm going to try and soften that all in together now. Get it nice and soft. Flick it around. Get it nice and even. I do want to get this nice and flat all the way around. Now you're probably worried as well about the pencil lines mixing with the paint. If you're worried about that, just do a very light sketch. Just put a hint of a few little tiny lines here and there. It doesn't really bother me too much if the pencil lines mix in with the paint. I don't mind. I just keep going over it until it's gone. Do you know what I mean? But if you're that worried, if you're really worried about it and you don't want it, just do very, very small, gentle pencil lines. That's what I'll say. Just take your time with it. Now I'm just putting on a lot of white all over. Of course you can put any colour you like. A black background would look nice as well. That would look quite eye-catching. But I'm just going to try the white just to keep it simple because I really have no idea how this is going to turn out. It could go any way. It could turn out to be a complete and utter mess. But you won't know till you try, will you? No. So I keep dipping my brush into turpentine and picking up a little hint of white. Nice and watery, look. Because it's only just to cover the back of the canvas, that's all. And you can see there's a very slight shade of a light blue going on here and there. On the left hand side of the painting. That's good, I like that. It doesn't necessarily have to be completely the one shade all the way around. You can add a little to it if you like. I'll leave it completely up to yourselves. Now, that is if you want to try this painting, you may not. But, look, let's just see if we can learn anything at all. You might learn something. If anything, it'll be a bit of fun to watch, won't it? while you're isolating yourself and you're bored, nothing to do, might as well watch a bit of painting. Isn't that right? That's what I do anyway. I watch a lot of painting as well myself. I watch Michael James Smith. There's loads of them, loads of fantastic artists. I just kind of browse through on my YouTube channel, and I click on one here, I click on one there, just to see what people are doing, that's all. You get some ideas, that kind of thing. Okay, I think we're pretty much okay with that. We could go back over some of it later, but I think for now, that will do fine. What do you reckon? I don't know, should I make it a little bit brighter? I think I will actually. What I might do, I might take the tiniest hint of Naples yellow with loads of white, okay? Now you probably can't see this. I'm guessing you're looking at your screens right now and all you can see is just plain white. But it is a little bit on the grey sort of a whitey side. I'm just kind of lightening it here now as much as I can, especially in between the eggs in here, the eggshells. I want that nice and bright. So I put in just thick paint on its own in there. And this of course can be added to later on as well. Now, okay, I think that's probably okay for now. Let's start on the eggs. Let's paint some eggs. Now I like to eat them as well. I like to eat eggs, but I like to paint. It might be nice to paint them for a change, rather than eating them all the time. Isn't that right? Now, I have my brushes ready. A couple of flats, okay, small flat brushes. I also have a small flat stubby brush, and a little pointy one. Let's take one or two small detailed brushes as well. Look, nice tiny little pointy brushes. Is there any more there? There's another one here. Okay, that should do us, I'm thinking. And let's start now. You can see there's kind of all peppering on the eggshell. I might use a little fan brush for some of that later on. We'll see how it goes, yes? I'll start with a slightly bigger, flattish kind of a brush, yeah? Nice and soft, synthetic brush. I'll dampen it, give it a good dry. And now let's look at the colour of the eggshell. And this is what was kind of worrying me all the time. I was worried about getting the colour of the eggshell right. Let's just experiment with these colours, yes? Well, I can see some burnt sienna, I think. Let me just get some sienna. And I'm going to take a little hint of crimson. Now, a tiny bit of turpentine in this. I want this to go nicely on the canvas. It's just a little bit wet, that's all. And I'm thinking, let me see now, a hint of burnt umber. It's that nice kind of reddy, kind of an orangey kind of eggshell type of colour, and a hint of Naples yellow. Now I'm using the Naples yellow really only just to thicken this up and make it cover better. So I'm making it more opaque. Do you know what I mean? A little hint of cadmium red. Now I know I mix a lot of different colours there, but like with oil painting like this, what I do is I get a base colour and then I can add colours to it until I get what I need. So I'm thinking more cadmium red. Let me see. Perhaps a hint more Naples yellow. Now I might just try that for a moment. Okay, perhaps a hint more Naples yellow. And maybe even a hint, I may take a hint of cadmium yellow. Just to lighten it slightly. Now I think I'll just go with that colour for now, just to cover all of the eggshell. So let me start from the scratch. I'm going to take some cadmium red, I'm going to take a little hint of cadmium yellow, and a little hint of Naples yellow. And I think I'll just use that colour now just to cover the eggshell completely, yes? Come on, let's go for it. I'm pushing it out into the white as well. Don't worry about the cracks and all that kind of stuff. We can fix all that with our brush in a moment. And you see, the thing about these colours is, at the moment now, they're very transparent colours. So the siennas, the cadmium red, they're very transparent. And I don't want transparent colours. I want something that really covers very well. So for that reason, I'm going to switch. I'm going to change. I'm going to take some burnt umber. I'm going to take lots of cadmium red, and I'm going to take a hint of cadmium yellow, because it's just not covering properly for me, and a hint of Naples yellow. Now that's a much thicker, more opaque colour. Let's try it. I was actually going to use a bit of MDF for this, so that the brush strokes would be nice and sharp, but I didn't have any MDF left in my work shed, my tool shed, so I had to use canvas. Ideally, I'd love to use MDF for this to make it nice and sharp, you know what I mean, because MDF is perfectly smooth, but it's a shame. But this will suffice, this will do as well. Now, I'm going to gently kind of soften that up, and by the way, the canvas is kind of drying in quite quickly. It's because of the primer I used. It's sort of soaking into the canvas. Let me just stand back and have a look. I'm going to start lightening now. I'm going to get a smaller brush and start lightening the eggshell. So I'm going to go with first some Naples yellow. I'm going to take some cadmium red. I'll take a hint of sienna, and I think that might be enough just to lighten the eggshell a little bit. A bit more cadmium red. I'm kind of going for a pinky, like on the photograph it's a very rich colour. I'm going for more of a light pinky type of a tone, which is what an eggshell would kind of have. Very light pinky brown kind of a colour. And I'm just going to sort of pull that down and let it sort of fade down into that colour underneath. I'm dragging it very lightly now across the canvas, okay? Very, very, very lightly. There we go. And I will then clean my brush quickly and go for a darker colour down at the bottom here. I may take some burnt umber. I don't want to go too dark with this now. Burnt umber and a bit of cadmium red perhaps. I may even put a slight shadowy colour in there later on, like a purple or something. I'm just going to, for now, I'm just going to soften this in. And I'll bring it up. There we go. Because eggshells are really, really smooth, it's difficult to get this sort of uniform colour all the way along. And I'm going to go really dark then around the back here. I'm going to take a hint of black. No, just a little hint is all I want. And some brown. And I'm going to go along the back here. And just very gently go with the curve, you see? There we go. And let's soften that up then. Now, let's take a look at this. What do we think? Not too bad now yet, is it? Now remember, this is just the very early kind of layers. I will eventually be putting slightly thicker paint over this. Let's go and do the other side and get all this outside. Oh no, in fact we'll concentrate on the inside here first. So I'll take a clean brush, and for that I'm going to get Naples yellow, a hint of cadmium yellow, take lots of white. Now I have a little bit of that pink left in there, you see. It's mixing with the colour, that's fine. Let me have a look at this now. Okay, now this will do for the bottom section, I think. Alright. Let's take a little more white. It's very white over on this side. Okay, and then we go up. Then it starts, I can see a hint of a pinky colour up there as well. It's like a pinky mauve, so I'll just use a tiny amount of crimson just up here. I'm only putting in tiny little amounts now into the mix, that's all. Soften that down. Then it comes across and it darkens ever so slightly, doesn't it? So I'm going to just take a hint more turpentine. I'm going to take lots of white, and I'm going to take a hint of, I think, sienna and a hint of yellow. I can see a hint of yellow in there. Let's just try this first. We can add to this as we need to. Okay, I'll go with that for now. And then I will soften it. I'll add a hint more crimson to that as it comes out. Okay, I'm using lots of crimson in this painting now because I can see there's a lot. The eggshells are very sort of pinky. In real life they are quite pinky. I think the colour of this one is slightly saturated. It's been kind of artificially strengthened and made very strong with the camera. So I'm going to kind of use my own judgment and go slightly on the pinker side for the eggshell. Now I'm just going to soften all this together here first, okay? Let me just get all this kind of general area done. Then I'm going to darken it. I'm going to darken it up around there. I might take a hint of sienna, a hint of crimson, and I might take a hint of black. I think that could work for a nice kind of a shadowy area up there. Now a hint of white in that because it's a bit dark. You know, I'm just trying to complement colours. I don't want to be going completely out of sync with colours. Pull that down. And let me pull it down all the way across here, look. And soften it down. So you see it is kind of drying into the canvas a little bit. Now, let me just take a look at this. Okay, it's not bad. Not bad at all. I think what I'll do now is I might darken just in here. And I'm going to use some sienna with some cadmium yellow. Just for in there. There's a very rich warm colour going on just inside there. And I'm going to just kind of soften it with my brush in. And let it kind of soften outwards then into the rest of the colour. Okay, bring it down just a little. It's a lot of fun, you see. There's a lot of tricky techniques in this, isn't there? I know you'd say, well, it's just an egg and an eggshell, but there's a lot of tricky techniques in here, I think. Now, okay, that's looking good. I am going to lighten that in a minute as well. First now what I'm going to do is take a sharp, pointy brush. I'm going to wet that brush and I'm going to go with some colour just around the edge, and I just want to sharpen up some of this here. So I go along like that, make it that little bit sharper, you see. And let's come down like that. Okay, and then we have as well a very slight kind of a shadowed line. I'm going to use a little tiny bit of mauve now for this, just kind of coming along like that. Okay, I'll go up here. Like so. Now, how's that? How's that coming on? I might then just kind of soften this one in ever so slightly. Just a little. Perhaps a little bit on this. I'm just using the brush to just soften the paint out, that's all. Okay, now take a clean brush, I'm going to take a hint of white and just put like a hint of white here and there, like that. And I can see a little hint of colour in there as well. I'll take a little hint of white and I'll make a little, it's supposed to be like a little reflection from the egg white inside on the shell. There we go, and then I might try and soften that then just with the tip of my finger, very gently. Okay. Right, how are we looking with that? I might darken just around the top edge very slightly. Only just very slightly. Just up here, look. I think this is a lot of fun. I really do. It's a lot of fun. I think the most fun really is seeing what's going to happen and anticipating what's going to happen. I think that's the best part of all of this. It's not knowing how it's going to look. It could look absolutely rubbish now for all I know. It really could. But look, I'm just going to go with it anyway. Now I'm going to mix up some more colour for the other side of the shell. I will go over this again, I think, because it's not great. It's not covering great. So I'm just mixing up a nice pinky kind of a brown there now for, let me see, that's completely wrong, isn't it? Let's take sienna, some cadmium yellow, a little hint of naples, well, a little hint, not too much. That's far, far too much, isn't it? So naples yellow, burnt sienna, maybe a hint of cadmium red. Yeah, I think that's a bit better. Let's go with that. And let's get a nice curve around the edge. Like so. So you see, it does take a bit of time after all, doesn't it? I thought I'd fly through this now and I'd have it done very quickly, but no, it's not. It's taking its time. I'm going to go along now over here and get some of that colour in as well, because I want the same colour on both eggshells. It can be tricky trying to get the right colours, especially with things like eggshells, because it's a very, very tricky colour to get. If you don't get it right, it's just not going to look proper like an eggshell. I mean, even that now still doesn't look right to me. In my mind, an eggshell has a slightly pinky colour to it, and for some reason it's just not working on this picture, these colours. That kind of an orangey shell. I might take a hint of crimson, and I might mix a hint of crimson with a hint of burnt umber, and try that down here, because I know for a fact there's a hint of pink in eggshells. I only had my eggs this morning, so I know there's definitely a hint of pink in the shells. Now, a little bit of darker colour just down there. I may go much darker at the back. So a little hint of crimson with a tiny hint of black, I think, just for around the back edge over here. There we are, a bit of dark there, and I'll go nice and dark down at the bottom here. It's a very, very dry brush now that I'm using here, okay? Very, very, very dry. Okay, now I want to again go over some of this here. So I'm going to take more colour, some Naples yellow, some cadmium yellow, a hint of sienna, and a hint of cadmium red. Let me just lighten some of this eggshell here, just a little. Okay. See, it takes a lot of work, doesn't it? There's a lot of work in it. Now I'm going to add some light to the very top. I'm going to go with some white, a hint of crimson, and a hint of Naples yellow. I'm going to put some nice light up on top. Okay, and I'm going to soften it back then. Now, let's soften all that down with our fingers. You could use a soft blender brush, but I prefer my finger because my canvas is quite kind of dryish today. So I'm going to use my fingers for softening colours. And I'm going to go in here now and get this nice bright colour in here. And I may put a hint of that bright colour, maybe just along the top of that. Right, now, how's it looking? I'm going to lighten the inside of the egg, I think. Yeah, I'm going to lighten the inside of that egg shell with some of this. I just picked up a bit of white and I'm going to soften it right through, because that's just not bright enough now for me. It needs to be a little brighter, I would think. And I'm going to go over then a little bit further. Like so. Okay. Now, pointy brush, and let's just refine some of the edges here and there. And I'm going to go with a slightly kind of a darker edge now for this. So we have some nice cracks, lovely crack line all the way across here. Let's go out like that, along there. It's starting to look a bit better now, isn't it? Okay, let's go down here. And I'm going to fill in also this area here. Now, would you like me to zoom the camera in, or can you see it okay? I don't know if you can see it really well or not. Now, I'm just going to take some white on my brush. I'll zoom the camera in because I think you deserve to see this in full, all its glory. There, that's better. Now, I'm taking some white on my pointy brush, and I'm going to just suggest some little tiny cracks here and there. Like so. Very small cracks. You see? Really tiny. And that's starting to help now. It's helping to bring everything to life, isn't it? Let's go right down here with this one then. Like so. Okay. And we'll do the same on the other side. And that's what will separate these two then from each other, you see. Now let me just put a little bit in here again, just to show off the reflection inside there. And we'll go along this edge with a nice, very rough white. Okay, now nice and sharp on the tip of your brush. Like so. And let's bring it out a little bit like that. I'm using tiny amounts of paint in this now. And then move down like that. Okay, we have a very subtle one that comes around like that. Alright, that's not bad. Let's just give this one or two like breaks in the shell. Just like that. And also, I think I may add one or two just around here as well. Right, how is that? How's that, my friends? Looking good? I don't think that's too bad at all. I'm not sure about this line in here. I think it may be a bit on the strong side. I'll put a little hint of white over it just to dull it down a slight little bit. There, that's not bad now. Okay. Whew, and breathe. What do you think of that? Isn't that lovely? See, it's a lot of fun doing this kind of thing. Let's get this yellow egg yolk done. I think once the yolk is done here, we're 90% there. It's pretty much easy enough after that. Getting this colour right is the problem. Now I'm going to get some more. Do I need more yellow? I don't. I'm alright. I'll take some cadmium yellow pale. Okay, lots of that. A hint of cadmium red. I think that colour, I was going to put it on the front. No, I'll take more cadmium red in that. And I'll just go around the front. There you go, that. I'm going to mix up nice thick paint for this, I think. And very translucent colours, so very rich, vibrant colours. Cadmium red, which is a very translucent colour. Cadmium yellow pale, it's very translucent as well. So they're very rich and vibrant. But the only problem then with the vibrant colours is that everything underneath will show through. So you can see right through into the canvas, the whiteness of the canvas. Now I may have to just kind of thicken it a bit later. Let's see how we go. But this is great fun. To be honest, I don't even care now if this turns out bad or if it doesn't turn out as I want it to turn out, because I'm having so much fun doing this. I really don't mind if it doesn't work out. And that's the kind of attitude you should have, I think, with painting. Don't worry too much if it doesn't work out. It's only paint. I've only used a tiny bit of paint, look, a tiny amount. So I'm not worried in the least. Of course, it would be different if I used half a tube of paint each and a big, huge 2-foot canvas and it didn't work out. Then I would be upset. But look, let's just have a bit of fun with this. Now, I'm going to get a darker colour for the shadow up around the top. I'm thinking some cadmium red, some cadmium yellow, some nice thick paint now on its own, okay, for this. Cadmium red, cadmium yellow, and a hint of sienna, perhaps. Maybe even a hint of crimson. I just want to get a nice dark, rich dark colour for around the top of that. And again, down in here, because it's going to be casting a shadow from the shell over onto this. Do you understand? And as well, let me just take a hint of cadmium red and a hint of burnt umber. And I just go down here and give it a nice strong shadow coming up. Okay. Let me see now. We're doing quite well. We're not doing too badly at all. And let's come along and go like that. Okay. And then I'm going to start lightening it slightly as it comes down around the front. So I have a little touch of yellow on my brush, just cadmium yellow. And I'm just going to sort of soften everything together now. I'm following the curve of the egg yolk, you see? Just follow that curve. I want to keep that shape. Right, stop now for a moment, take a look at this. Now, I'm going to start lightening it again, just around the front here. So I'm going to take some cadmium yellow, which I don't have, so I need to get cadmium yellow. Where is it? It's around here somewhere. I have misplaced it, haven't I? Again. Let me see. Oh, there it is. Cadmium yellow. Fine big tube of cadmium yellow. So I'm just going to take some cadmium yellow now and maybe a hint of white, just for that. I may take a hint of red as well, because I don't want to go pure whitey, a very whitey kind of a yellow. So it's just here, look. Let me see now, I'm just going to kind of soften it upwards while still keeping the curve, alright? Now, see, it's just very subtle, that's all. Now we have a lovely kind of a bright white sort of a wavy effect going on in there, don't we? I'm going to take some white and just with the very tip of my brush, I'm going to give this a kind of a wavy effect. Yeah. I'm being very, very careful with this now. And it comes down, it goes down like this. Okay. And then I'm going to take a smaller brush, small pointy brush. I'm going to get some of that nice crisp white. Now I'm going to first go along here with some of that. Then I'm going to take some of that white, and we have a lovely white kind of a patch going on there. And we have another one up here. It kind of comes into the painting. Don't be afraid just to go for it, because if you're afraid to kind of just go and do it, then you'll never do it. I just say to myself, okay, let's just go for it and do it. Alright, there we go. Nice bright, strong, thick lines. And okay, it comes across like that. And then it comes across a little bit like so. Let me just strengthen that one just there. Okay, how's that looking? Not bad. And we have another little one then that kind of shoots in from around here. Little one. It almost meets in the middle. Ooh, how was that? Now a little bit of white coming from the egg white actually, and it sort of disappears off then into that yellow. Okay, how are we looking with that? I'm not gone on this here. There's something wrong. There's something wrong with this. It's just not. I need to get more of the curve, I think. I need to get more of the curve on it. I think that's what it is. I just soften it out very, very slightly, look. There's even a slightly darker shade of yellow just around the outside of that. Don't know if you can see it or not there, but it's there. There we go. Alright, that's probably a bit better. I don't want to, again, I don't want to be really going crazy with this and going overboard, but I do want it to look nice, do you know what I mean? Let's get a little bit of dark pinky colour just to reflect that eggshell onto this side here. And it does get quite kind of dark over on this side as well. Okay, how is that looking now? Let's get on and try and get this egg white done. This is going to be kind of, I won't say tricky, but I've never painted egg white before, so I don't know how it's going to look, to be quite honest. What brush should I use now? I think I'll just stick with the one I have. It's probably the best option. There's a lot of yellow in this brush. Do you know what? I'd switch brushes. Yeah, we'll switch. Let's get a nice clean brush. I'll go for... I've tons of brushes, but I don't have anything that's just right. I'll go for this one here. Nice little new soft flat brush. And I'm going to change my turpentine, if you don't mind. I'm just going to give it a quick clean there, and I'm going to just add a little drop of it to my jar. There we go, done. Now, egg white. This is tricky. It's a very subtle kind of a colour, isn't it? It's almost translucent around the outside here. It does look like it kind of disappears into that background. Kind of strange, isn't it? But it does. You can, I mean, you can't even see where it starts on the reference photograph. It just sort of disappears into the background. But there will have to be some kind of a separation there, won't there? Let's just pull it down. I think what I might do is I'll just get some white on my palette there. And now the thing that will bring all of this to life will be the shadow at the very end. Now, I know it kind of looks pretty flat, kind of almost, you know, it looks kind of flattish at the moment, but it will come to life. Once that shadow goes in, it's going to really come to life. Now, let me take a hint of the browny kind of a grey colour. I think I'll use that just for this side. And it comes over, it kind of drips off of the eggshell then, doesn't it? Alright, there we go. Let's bring it down onto the eggshell. Now a tiny drop of turpentine just to dampen that. I'm going to take a hint of black, very subtle hint of the kind of a blacky brown colour that I had, with some white. I'm going to go with that just for now. Just for the shadowed area in here. And then let's pick up a bit of white and let's put some white through that. Okay, let's come around to the front. There's a very kind of a strange colour going on just there. I think, do you know what? It could be a very light, dare I say it, a kind of a green colour. I'll take a hint of cadmium yellow and a hint of black and lots of white. Now, I could be wrong, but it looks to me like that shadow colour is a very, very pale kind of a green. There's almost a greeny hue going through it. I don't know if you can see that or not now on the reference photograph, but it does look like there's a slight hint of green kind of going through that colour. It's very strange. It's almost like a greeny kind of a grey, if you will. Now let me just get this shadow in around here. Another tiny bit. Okay, now I'll switch to a smaller brush because we need to get some more detailed kind of work going in here. I'm going to darken this with some mauve. I'm going to take a hint of blue, a hint of pink, now it's only very subtle. I'm going to get a nice mauve there and I'm going to put a hint of burnt umber into that. That'll give me a nice mauvey kind of a grey colour. I think the very difficult part about this is getting it to look like it's like a jelly, like reflective almost. That's going to be the tricky part. And I think the way to do that is with highlights, very strong highlights. Now first I'm just going to go in here and add a bit of that dark browny kind of colour, maybe even a hint of the orange, just in here, because that yolk will sort of, the colour from the yolk will sort of bleed off into the egg white. Does that make sense? See what I mean? Just like that, and perhaps a little bit around here. Okay, a bit here. Now I'll take some very light mauve, I think, for around the front of that. Okay, now you can see there's a lot of work in this, isn't there? It's by no means an easy task, I can tell you that. But I can tell you something, it was really fun, I have to say. It's probably the most fun now in a painting I've had in a very long time. You should really try this. It's just, I know, okay, you might get frustrated along the way and say, no, I can't do it, I'm not doing it. But look, at the end of it, you will be pleasantly surprised. I am sure about that. Okay, let me see now. I need to start darkening it slightly. Now I'm first going to add a little bit of highlight just here and there. Okay, now look, I had the basis of the white kind of done. I can start focusing now on getting shadows and stuff like that in. Look, we've one over here. I'm just going to take a bit of the browny kind of reddy, blacky kind of colour for that. I'm just going to go over here and put a really dark shadow from that. Okay. And I'm going to take my smaller brush then and start strengthening some of the shadows around that egg yolk as well. So we have another one around the front here. Okay, that kind of follows the curve slightly around like that. And it follows this one as well. And then we have a nice kind of a dark line around here. I'm going to darken in here with this reddy colour, just so it all sort of softens together the same. It's the same kind of hue just inside there, you see. This needs to be much darker inside there. I'm not happy with that at all. So this colour reflecting down into the egg white, like so. There, that's a bit better, isn't it? And let me see, I am then going to put in some nice bright colours on the egg white. Well, it's very bright over there. I'm going to take some pure white on its own, okay? Lots of thick white paint. And I'm going to come around this shadow first. I'm going to try and get the lines nice and sharp if I can. Nice thick paint, nothing else. And let's put that in. And I come around the outside here, again trying to cover the pencil lines. And I'm using the brush now to go around in that shape. You see? And comes over like that and comes down. And then it comes down like that. Isn't this fun? And I have to say, I've learned a lot of different things today. I really have. Especially about colour mixing. I have learned a lot of stuff. I'm very, very happy with I'm very happy with the fact that I decided to paint this. I was a little bit apprehensive, you know, I wasn't sure. I was thinking, God above, you know, this could turn out terrible. Now, it's still not perfect, but I mean, it's a lot better than what it was. We're getting there, kind of slowly, you know. Now a little bit of white coming down here onto that egg white. And it sort of comes over, doesn't it? And it swirls. Swirls around. There's a couple of little swirls around there. We have a little light just there. And we have a little one just there. We did this one here, and we have a little kind of a swirl coming over like that. And boom, 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 comes down. Okay, like so. How is this coming on? Are we happy enough? We have a dark in there, I'm going to leave that. And I will put a slightly lighter tone then, just along here like that. And perhaps just along the front of this one as well. Okay. Now that dark is probably a bit too dark. I'm just going to lighten this dark here very slightly. And even the darkness down here is probably a bit too dark as well. So I think I lighten that, maybe just using a little hint of mauve. Right. Well, how are we looking? How is this all looking so far? Let me get my little shadow in just here. Boom. I'm just looking now, I'm constantly looking to see what can I fix. I could probably fix a lot of it, but let's just see. I'm going to add a very little bit of that dark red just in here. Like so. Okay, I think we'll move on to the shadow. Let's just get the shadow done. And we can kind of have a look around then and see what we need to fix, yeah? Let's take some phaylo blue, some crimson, and a hint of black. Now it's a very, very subtle shadow, isn't it? There's lots of white in this. It's a very, very subtle kind of a shadow. Let's just try this colour and see how it looks. Yeah, I go with that. I'm happy enough with that. So we're going down like that. And now we need to follow this curve around. This is going to be tricky. How's that? And then we need to follow. It's basically a case of trying to copy the curves of everything else. There we are. We go across here then. Now, I think we can just fill all this in. Yes? Let's do it. Let's just go for it. We have the tip of the egg, I think it is. No, it's not. Is it the tip of the egg? Yeah, it's the tip of the egg coming around like that. So I need to paint in some white here in a moment, and then we have this fella coming along like that. Now this will make sense later, don't worry. It will make sense, I promise. We just fill all of this in. That was nice fun, wasn't it? Tell me what you think. If you think it was a load of rubbish, just tell me. I don't mind, I can take it. Yeah, you know, just tell me honestly what you think. Is it not bad, or do you think, you know, if you can give me some advice, if you say, well, you could have done this, you could have done that, you know, just tell me, don't be afraid. I like advice, I like getting help from all of you as well, you know, because I'm not a professional by no means. And I know I keep saying that, but it's the truth. I'm not a professional. I'm just an amateur artist here, trying to keep you all busy, give you something to watch. And you know, if you learn something, all the better. If not, then there's no harm done, is there? Okay, now I am going to soften very slightly that colour just into the bottom of the egg yolk here. Okay, only just slightly. Alright, and I'm going to just darken with a dark mauve. I'm going to just darken around some of these lines. Like so. Put it nice and dark in there. Okay, there we are, like that. And then I need to fix, just going to fix down here with some white, where I just made a little mistake. I come down here. Now, and then I am going to put a little light suggesting the reflection from the top of the yolk. Like so, and perhaps a little one or two lights around there. Very subtle. Let's put a couple See? Just like that. And there's 1 or 2 just in the egg white over here as well. Now, my friends, how was that? Is it not too bad? Okay, I'm going to stop. I hope I've achieved what I set out to achieve in this. Let me just darken 1 or 2 this just here. I hope I have done something fun for you today. Let me have a look. Yeah, it's not bad, is it? Let's zoom in and take a look. There we go. An egg yolk cracked out of an egg. And a little shadow. I'm not sure about the shadow, but look, we leave it for now. Is there anything we can do now to fix that shadow? What if, I'm just thinking there now, what if I just, I'm thinking, should I lighten the shadow ever so much? Just slightly. Maybe, just slightly, look. There's a risk now that I could just ruin this. But I think if I lightened it just a little bit, it might help. And if I darkened it then just a little bit in where it meets, I think it might make it a little more believable. Do you understand what I mean? So I might just take a little hint of darker colour. It might be too dark now, but just a hint of it. Look. Because that dark eggshell will make slightly darker on the shadow, I would think. Just further up. Just a little maybe, just like that. I think that's probably better. And there we go. I'm loving the egg yolk. I think the egg yolk is lovely. Yeah. Isn't that wonderful? In fact, I may add, what you could do actually as well is add a hint of that pinky colour from the shell into the shadow as well, and that would add a hint of that colour, just reflect that colour down slightly, you see. I know now it's not on the photograph, but I think it would help just a little. Let me see, let me try a hint of that colour. Just, I'm barely touching the canvas now with this colour here, just sort of dragging it through. Okay, I think I'll just leave it well alone. And there we go, finished. Isn't that lovely? Let me turn the camera here now so you can see me and my baldy head again. There we go. Grand, that'll do. Thank you so much. I enjoyed that. When I stick that in a frame and hang it up in my kitchen and look at it when I'm having my breakfast every morning. How about that? Thank you for subscribing. I hope you're enjoying these videos and stay safe out there, everyone. I hope you're all doing okay. I hope you're all nice and safe and stay away from this coronavirus, okay? Until next week, I will see you very, very soon. I really enjoyed this session, I must say. Thank you so much for joining me. God bless you all, my friends, and thank you so much for your support as well on Patreon. I will see you again very soon. Stay safe, everyone. Goodbye.